friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alyssa. I'm a content creator, personal trainer, trying to get more guys and girls into the gym just with how good the gym has made me feel. I do apologize in advance if this was not the perky introduction that you are used to and you were looking for, but the reality is I haven't been doing too well as of late, and I want to give you guys a little update. Simply because, not for attention whatsoever, but just to show you that being a creator is not always all that, especially in the beginning when you're just trying to fight with this algorithm and just make things work. But I also thought I would give you a little update just in terms of how I'm doing right now, which is honestly not too good. And based off of the title of this video that you clicked on, as well as kind of going back to the beginning and giving you my full story on how I got diagnosed with an eating disorder, or how I don't want to say fully recovered, but how I'm working on recovering from my eating disorder, all that jazz. So without further ado, hope you just get comfortable, grab a coffee, maybe grab a matcha, maybe sit if you're watching this during a meal, just get comfortable because we are going to chat. Wow, where do I start? Let's start with the now. Right now, if I'm being honest, I am not doing too well. I find that this happens a lot the days leading up to my birthday. I'm currently filming this on September 14th, 2024, and my 20th birthday is in 2 days, September 16th, 2024. And like, honestly, since I'm 13 years old, every single year comes by and I'm like, damn, I don't want to be here. And it's so depressing. Like, I really don't know why I feel this way. I think it's more so, it's social media. It's comparing myself to other people now, comparing myself to other creators out there. I'm like, damn, you got noticed by Gymshark. You got noticed by Alani. You got noticed by like all these big brands that I want to work with one day. But I'm not saying anything bad about those people. They deserve it 100%. I just have to feel bad about myself, thinking that, why aren't I being noticed, and I'm putting in all this work and I'm not being noticed, and it really gets to me, and it really I lose my purpose or my reason why, which is I never got into Instagram or content creation or YouTube because I wanted to work with brands. Yes, that's a great perk. It's something I can work towards. However, I got into it to help, like I said, help more girls and guys get into the gym because of the way it makes me feel. And lately I've just been feeling not it lately. And it's not just that. I think it's also trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I started this Instagram account, and it was just for fun, and the YouTube, like just a side hustle, love it. However, I would love to do it full time if I can. The idea of finishing my undergrad and going to do my master's and then working a 9 to 5 it just saddens me. It's not something I want to do. I genuinely love working in the gym. Yes, it sucks when I have client cancellations or having crazy schedules all over the place, but I love the idea of just helping other women and eventually men achieve their fitness goal, because it makes me feel so good. That's where I'm at right now. Don't really have much of a positive outlook on the future, but let me just reel it back and then as to saying, why am I saying my depression is coming back? Because when it comes to anorexia nervosa, it is a mental health, despite it having like physical symptoms in terms of losing weight rapidly, just being like sickly, skinny, cold all the time, losing my hair, low heart rate, all that kind of stuff. It is truly at its core a mental health disorder. And you get depressed. Once your whole life is focused on just food and how much food you're consuming or the lack thereof, it's depression. Like, I can't say it anymore. And I mean, I was diagnosed with both anorexia nervosa and depression, and I remember the psychiatrist trying to put me on medication, but I was like, no, I don't want to do that. It's all fake stuff, when I was like focused on like clean eating and not putting chemicals in my body. And I didn't really go through any treatment for depression. I was able to hold out for a couple of years simply because I found the gym. So essentially, let's start from the beginning. In 2013, July of 2013, first week or so of July, I went on vacation. I went to Cuba and I gained 5 pounds, which, looking back at it now, it should not have been the end of the world, but it was. For a 13-year-old girl, it was the end of the world. it was also because the previous school year, I had a crush on this boy, and I kind of thought he liked me. So then I thought, oh, he's not going to like me if he sees me and I've gained 5 pounds, which again, ridiculous thought now that I think about it now. But I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to lose this 5 pounds. I'll be fine. I lost the 5 pounds. However, it kept on progressing. I remember searching up, I was doing ab workouts every single day, Pinterest workout, YouTube workouts, nutrition. I started off, I think I cut out all carbs except for fruits. I was eating, for breakfast, I would have a 200 calorie, either cottage cheese or yogurt, Greek yogurt parfait with some fruits. That's it. For lunch, it would be a salad. I say salad, but it was just, spring mix, bell peppers, and then maybe dressing, but I think that was probably it. And then dinner was whatever my parents would feed me, but even though they were feeding me, I was still consuming less than 1,000 calories a day. So I lost weight. I hit that goal of losing weight. I lost 5 pounds, but then eventually, and then that was 10, 5 became 10, 10 became 15, etc., until I had lost, in 6 months, I had lost 30 pounds, which is a lot for a 13-year-old girl. So I went from 110 pounds in July of, I can't even remember what year it was. I want to say 2016, yes. July 2016 to being 80 pounds in January or February of 2017. At that point in time, that's kind of when my mom was realizing something was going wrong. So she wanted to put me into an outpatient program, like an eating disorder program. However, once I did my EKG and they saw my heart rate was super duper low, they were like, no, you need to be hospitalized. You have to be in an inpatient. So that's kind of when everything went downhill. And I think that's more so when the depression started, because being forced to stay in a hospital room and eating 3,000 calories every single day, every single meal was monitored. When I was eating, someone was watching me, whether that be a nurse, and then eventually it all became my parents, just to make sure that I was consuming everything and not hiding everything. And thinking back at it now, it was crazy, because I still was. I remember times when I would drop a little piece of cheese in my lap or whatever and not eat it, and then I would have moldy cheese in my clothing for weeks on end, because they don't check my clothing, but they just check my plate, make sure I didn't eat anything. But it was the worst experience of my life, to say the least. It was the worst fucking experience of my life. I believe the first time I was hospitalized for, I want to say 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks. But I wasn't out for very long, because I was out long enough to graduate from grade 8. I did my grade 8 graduation, all that stuff. But I was shortly put back into the hospital because I relapsed. That's just something I do. So I relapsed, and I would say within 2017 to 2019, I was hospitalized 3 times for eating disorder recovery / weight restoration. And I don't think I actually felt like I was getting better until 2019, November of 2019, when I was finally allowed to go back to the gym. I remember I discovered Natasha Oceani, who was a Gymshark athlete, so that's also what introduced me to Gymshark. I saw her being strong, choosing strong, not skinny. She was powerful. She was everything I ever wanted to be. So I started going to the gym, following her workouts. It was everything I ever wanted and more. I was in the gym for about 2 months before I created my own fitness account in January of 2020. That's when I started posting my workouts, some foods I was eating, just to show people to choose strong and not skinny. So it's been 4 years since that. A lot on and off. So I would say when COVID hit, I reduced my carb intake. So I went keto. I lost a bunch of weight. However, I wasn't feeling as strong. So I would say since 2021, I have been working on increasing my carb intake to just feel good, look stronger, and you can really see a difference. If you scroll all the way back down in my Instagram, I'll even put up a picture here of in 2020. I was lean. I was lean, but I didn't look strong. I looked kind of weak, and I was, right? Especially because I wasn't lifting heavy at home. But eventually I started reincorporating carbs into my diet, and I started feeling good again. However, every single year, like I mentioned, around September hits, I'm like, okay, what am I doing with my life? Why am I alive? Some anxious thoughts like that. And so where am I at right now? I would say 2021, 2020, getting back into routine. When the gyms opened up, I felt so happy again. I think my biggest like turnaround point was when I got a job at Lifetime. It's a job that I've been wanting since I was 13. I applied like 4 times, I think, before I actually got in. Simply because, I mean, if I'm being honest, I think I got in because I paid for the membership for 3 months, and I was determined to find the kids leader, like whoever was like the leader of the kids department. So I spoke to her a couple times. I was like, hey, so I applied, just wondering if you're still hiring. Bothered her about 3 times, and finally she decided to give me a interview. I'm super duper thankful for her. Sarah, if you're watching this, thank you again, you and Molly 1,000 times over, for giving me the opportunity to work at Lifetime. It's truly been life-changing, and I would say that's when things started to look up for me. And yeah, like things have been really good since then. However, I seem to get to this cycle where it always comes down to food. I'm very, very restrictive with my food. Thankfully, timings have been better. I'm not so rigid in terms of stopping at 8 p.m. However, like when it comes to what I'm eating, I'm very, very restrictive of that. And I haven't had my period since 2016. I probably had 3, because when I get my period, the nurse practitioner, they're like, all right, you're good. You can go off on your own. Like, clearly I wasn't good. Clearly I haven't been good. Because every time I get my period, I freak out, and then I drop 5% body fat, because I'm like, no, it's scary. It is truly, truly scary gaining weight. Even though I feel better, like I feel more energized, I feel more happy. It's so much easier to be happy versus when you're not, when you're lean and super duper low, like low body fat, low weight. Anything that goes wrong, it's the end of the world. So for example, literally last week, I got into a little bit of a fender bender. It was my fault. I was driving, I was tired. I had come home from the UK literally 2 days later, running on UK time. And I don't know why I feel like I can tell you guys everything, but I wanted to kill myself after. Simply because of the fact that I feel like I'm such a burden for my family. Wow, I don't know if I should be saying this all online. Oh, my mom's gonna come for me for this. But I think it's worth noting that, yes, social media glamorizes being skinny and having abs, being lean. However, is it really worth it when you go to bed like crying every single night, or when your thoughts are on food that when you're driving you don't even notice a parked car? Is it really worth it? Or like, let's say you're working with kids. Thankfully, nothing bad has ever happened for me while working with kids. But like, if you're working with kids and let's say like all you're thinking about is the next meal you're gonna be eating, or the calories, maybe you had like an ice cream cone or something sweet before, and you don't notice a kid who's doing something very dangerous and ends up hurting themselves, right? And you're gonna be blamed for that simply because your thoughts were elsewhere. And I don't think it's something you should be blamed about, because it's your eating disorder, right? It's not, I don't think it's normal to be always constantly thinking about food. And that's where it's sometimes, yeah, is it worth it? That's a question you need to really ask yourself. And it's a question that I've begun to ask myself, because as much as I say I'm kind of like ready to leave this world, in the back of my mind, I always wonder, but there's so much more I want to achieve. Like, yes, I started this video and I said like brand deals aren't what I got into social media for, but I still see myself being a Gymshark athlete. Like, maybe once I get my period back, once I start feeling happier again, and then actually lifting heavy weight in the gym, maybe I still want that. And I think that if I do end my life, this is not like a farewell, I'll see you guys later video. It's more like it's a real authentic, I need a therapist and you guys are my therapist video. I promise you guys that. I'm always gonna wonder, what if I could have done that? So going forward, life update, it is 2024, about 8 years since my whole eating disorder kind of started, and I don't feel comfortable saying that I'm officially recovered from it, because in reality I'm not. The fact that I'm still thinking about food, having my whole day, my whole life revolving around food is something I really, really need to work on. I don't have my period, that's something I really, really need to work on. So going forward, I'm, as scary as it's gonna be, like, I want to focus on eating more food, getting uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, which is something I tell my clients every single day. eating more food, maybe hopefully getting my period back. And not because I'm planning on having kids anytime soon, but I want to feel good. Like, I don't want to wake up every single morning and being like, oh, why am I waking up? Because I don't want to wake up. Like, I actually hate this feeling. So sorry, guys. I want to see where I can go with this content creation, and it really helps. Like, I'm seeing all these people being successful, like Whitney Simmons, MDJ Fitness, if you know her, or Madison, she's based in Markham, or based in Ontario. Michael, who's recently become a friend of mine, and seeing like him literally live out my dreams of like traveling the world and working with Gymshark. It makes me realize that like it's possible. These things that you want in life, it is truly possible. You just have to work towards it, and you can't work towards it if all you're thinking about is food or your next meal or like how someone perceives of you. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next couple of months. I'm going to be dialing, like, you're going to be seeing more of me, not less of me, because I really, really want to make this work. I want to inspire others to go to the gym and like just see more of the world rather than seeing like the inside of a hospital room. Like, if I were to work as a speech therapist or even like just work at a school, I want to do so much more. And that's why I'm putting this out there, because eating disorder recovery fucking sucks. I see people like Amelia Goldsmith, Millie G Fit, and she truly inspires me because she doesn't let what other people think of her, or the fact that maybe she has some fat rolls on her body when she sits, to get in the way of how she lives her life. You're only gonna live once. Make the most of it. So I'm hoping from here on out, because I just like spilled my whole entire heart out to you guys, the videos going forward are going to be a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more happier, and I hope you stick around for that. If you came to the end of this video, thank you so much. I don't think anyone's going to like this video, and I don't blame you if you don't, because it was quite depressing to say the least, but I'm ready to go up from here. Things have to get better. I can't be doing this every single year where my birthday comes around and I just feel like depressed and feel like I could be doing more with my life, when we're all on our own time frames, we're all on our own paths and journeys, and you have to embrace where you are at the time that you're at. So if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Comment below if there's any sort of videos that you guys want to see from me. If you have any questions for me, anything at all, please comment them below. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate this community here on YouTube. It's so much more rewarding than Instagram has ever been, because Instagram, it has its ups and downs. But I appreciate you guys for sticking through with me, through thick and thin and through it all. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, guys.